story of a young girl battered just to hide the cuts and bruises from the school was such a battle. They never even knew cause her excuses covered that up. So she went through the abuse and still refused to give her dad up. The sad story of a young girl battered just to hide the cuts and bruises from the school was such a battle. They never even knew cause her excuses covered that up. So she went through the abuse and still refused to give her dad up. They say behind all evil there's a little good that's hiding, but this guy was made of rage with a side of violence, assigned to a bunch of cruel, unusual assignments. And when she didn't execute him or was off his timing, he would beat her till her jawline was off alignment. Often both of her eyes were black and she was hiding. She had a few places to go, she knew we wouldn't find her. And not a word is a joke, I thought I should remind you. She started smoking meth and drinking, still the fucking minor, and sucking dick for addiction behind a fucking diner. Her mother died when she was 6 and left the world behind her. So she was raised by a prick, conceived into the slaughter, raped and beaten for nothing and by your own father. Hard to wrap your mind around it, seeing all the cuts on her wrists. Only wishes she could disappear like Misted. The first time he raped her she was only grade 6. Shit, too sick, yeah, she was nothing but a toothpick compared to him. He was motherfucking ruthless, tried to slip a roofie in her drink, but she knew this. Yo, so tonight might be a little different, cause her daddy is the one with the roofie in his system. Impatiently she watched him, she could see him growing weak, so she stayed a bit longer till she knew he was asleep. He woke up in a chair with some chains on his feet, started kicking in and he noticed she had changed it. Struggled in his chair and began with the raging. Little did he know it was already in his veins. Then convulsed, had a seizure, started screaming out in pain. And no, I know them roofies ain't fatality drugs, but rat poison had this grown man down on the rug. It's time for you to go, Dad, she whispered in his ear. I hope you burn in hell as she wiped away a tear. You beat me and abused me, you raped me throughout my life. Now you're gonna pay the price, motherfucker, that's right. You're nothing but a scumbag, I know you killed Mom. She grabbed a gas can, began dousing the man full of gasoline and lit a match with glee, and never had a second thought, he just had to leave. He burned to death right in front of her eyes, and as she watched it she didn't even start to cry. And as she watched it she didn't even start to cry. This is the story of a young girl battered just to hide the cuts and bruises from the school was such a battle. They never even knew cause her excuses covered that up. So she went through the abuse and still refused to give her dad up. The sad story of a young girl battered just to hide the cuts and bruises from the school was such a battle. They never even knew cause her excuses covered that up. So she went through the abuse and still refused